Okay, so moving on into our main story, it's called Dear Juno on page 388. I have already given some YouTube link where they will read the story for you. So I'm not going to sit here and read the whole story again. You can click on the other links in the blog to find the story, and you can listen along and read along with that. What I'm going to do is just talk about some of the tricky words and the pictures in the story to help explain how it means. So the genre is called realistic fiction. So that means this story it could be real, it could happen. The dog does not talk, but the boy does. So that is something that could really happen. And it is called Dear Juno because in the letters his grandma writes him, it starts with Dear Juno. So if you can take some time before or after to practice reading, and then we can talk about some of the words. So the red and white blinking lights, they are the lights that are on this plane. So he is outside looking at the plane and thinking, where did that plane come from and where is it going? And it makes him think about his grandmother because she lives in a little town very far away near Seoul. And Seoul, it is the capital city of Korea. So Juno's grandmother lives in Korea. And Juno, I think this is in USA, America, so they live very far away. And persimmons, I think that is a vocabulary word. You can check. It is so we talked about red and blue marks on the edges. That is called airmail, and you can check on the internet that red and blue envelopes means it came in a plane from another country. So he already knows that this letter should be from his grandmother. And it says a special stamp. We can't see it on the other side, but the stamp must be from Korea. So he says it's from my grandma. And again, please pause this video and read this yourself. If you need help, you can listen on YouTube to this. So in the kitchen, there are two people, and it is his mom and his dad, his parents, and they are washing dishes. And he is outside. So he needs to wait until they finished, and then he can show them this letter. And his pet is a dog, and his dog is called Sam. And Sam wagged his tail. So dogs will wag their tail when they are happy. So he's opened the letter, and inside have three things: the writing, a picture, and a dried flower. And even he can't understand, because this is Korea writing, he knows so many things already. Like he knows his grandma has got a new pet cat, and he knows that in her garden has these red and yellow flowers. These things we know they're called speech marks. So whenever someone is talking, before and after will have speech marks. So grandma has a new cat. That is Juno. And she's growing red and yellow flowers in her garden. Also Juno. How do you know she has a new cat? That is Juno's father asked. So it will put these speech marks when someone is talking, and usually after or before will tell you who said it. So when you read those, you can try to change your voice a little bit and try to put more expression. Yeah, when you become better at reading. So the letter is in Korean, and Juno can't read Korean, but his mom and dad can. So over here, they're reading to him. You can stop the video to read these pages. If you need help, you can click on the YouTube in my blog. So where is he in this picture? He's at school. He took the letter to school and his teacher put it up here on a board. And in the class time, he opens his desk and is looking at the flower. And he just had a great idea. Did his grandmother like getting letters too? Yes, Juno thought. So he's going to write her a letter. And because she gave him a special flower, he's climbing up the tree to get her a special leaf. And this tree is called his swinging tree because it has a swing here. You can read everything in here. Juno is drawing some pictures because if he writes English, his grandma can't read it, and he also can't write Korean. So the best way is draw some pictures. He's got his mom and dad in the house. He's got his dog and the big swinging tree. And the last one is himself looking up at the plane, thinking about, will his grandma come? And he will also put the leaf into the envelope. So some time has passed. You can see his clothes are different. Now it's more cold. Maybe it's late autumn or winter because the tree has no leaves. They're all falling down and so brown. Also, he has gloves, scarf, and this hat called a beanie. This letter is much bigger, so not just paper. So it was a big envelope. And inside, he found 3 things. There was a box of colored pencils. There was a picture of his grandmother, and in the picture she was sitting with a cat and 2 kittens. So her cat has had 2 babies, and he laughed because the cat's name was Juno, but Juno is the boy's name, not a girl's. and only the girl cat can have the babies. The last thing that she put is this. It's called a toy plane. And he smiled because my grandma is coming to visit. So, almost the end of the story. She sent him a letter, he sent her a letter, and she sent a letter back. And Sam is sitting on the bed. This picture is his dream. He's just gone to sleep and having a dream. You can read about it here. This is her sitting in the little village near Seoul, and the big cat and the 2 kittens. The persimmon tree also, the leaves mostly have fallen off. Maybe this is snow. She's drinking maybe a hot tea, and it says her hair up here looks like a powdered donut. So he just has this really nice dream about his grandma. So that's the end of the story. And if you can, switch over to the YouTube link where somebody has read all the story for you, and please practice reading again out loud, so that your mom or your dad or someone at home can listen to you reading. And that's the end of the first lesson.